All right, good morning, guys. It is Saturday, August 15th, and I'm in the Publix parking lot. Just finished my leg day this morning, about to go in and get some stuff for my protein shake. If you clicked on this video, you are struggling with something, you're doing something in your life that you need to stop doing. You have bad habits that you need to break that are keeping you from where you want to go to. Because when you have these goals in life that require you to be a certain man, that you know the version of you that's operating at a high level, that is at the place where you want to be, isn't doing these things every day that you're doing. So you're sitting there knowing that you probably shouldn't be doing these things, whether it's smoking weed, you're vaping, you're watching porn, you're going out, staying up late, going to bars, hanging out with people you shouldn't be hanging out with. You have these bad habits in your life that are keeping you from progressing. And in order to actually cut these out, you have to know how damaging they are to your life. It took me a while to realize what smoking weed and what watching porn does to me as a man. It took me falling back into these things multiple times, bro. Multiple times. I would do it and I would tell myself I'm done. That's it. And I would genuinely think, man, like, I'm pretty sure that was it. But clearly I didn't see what it actually did to me. I didn't go through the suffering of what's on the back end of those things enough, because I went back to it. And clearly you're watching this video still struggling with whatever it is. You haven't figured out how damaging it is for your life, bro. I struggled with these things for years, bro. It took me years to figure out what they're doing to me, bro. It took me countless times of falling and then spending the whole day not wanting to do anything, bro. Nothing, because I was thinking about the entire day, wow, bro, you did it again. And then I spent the rest of the day defeated, feeling like a piece of crap, because I went straight back to the version of me that had zero discipline, zero willpower, bro. Zero. And I'm so tired of the softness, bro. The softness, especially, I'm just going to call it how it is, especially within Christianity. So many times have I heard, like we say nothing's impossible with God, but then we have this notion that, you're going to fall again. You're going to sin again. You're bound to fall back into it because we're not strong, right? We're not strong. So we have this notion of like, nothing's impossible with God, but at the same time, we walk around and we say, oh man, well, we're pretty weak. What does that do for you, bro? It opens the door for you to be like, oh wait, I can't actually do it, bro. You can literally quit today, bro. The porn, the weed, the vaping, you can stop today, bro. And yes, it is because God is giving you the strength and the discipline. But do not sit here and I refuse to buy into the fact of, you're not as strong as you think you are, bro. Your willpower and your discipline is only going to get you so far. I had to fall multiple times for years on end, bro. I didn't quit weed the first time. I didn't quit watching porn the first time. It took me multiple times, but ultimately you can get to a spot to where you're done for good. But you have people around you that haven't beat it yet, that are telling you, oh, bro, as long as you're fighting the good fight, as long as you're trying, as long as whenever you fall, you get back up. But you haven't opened your mind up for the possibility of, you know what? Once I get back up this time, I'm not going to fall again. Because you've bought in to the lies and the soft mentality of people who haven't overcome it yet, that are telling you they're trying to make themselves feel better about their bad habits in their life and about the fact that they're not ready to give it up yet. They haven't found the willpower and the discipline within themselves to stop watching the porn, to put the vape down, to stop smoking weed, to stop getting drunk every day. So they're going to tell you, oh, bro, you know, you're not as strong as you think you are, you know, but you are. Why are there people that have quit it for good? Because they found out a way. So there is a way. So once you know that there is a way to stop whatever it is for good, you now have a starting point. But as long as you buy into the lies of, like I said, you know, you're going to struggle with this. This is going to be a lifelong struggle. Yeah, you may have that desire innately to want to go do these things, but you have the power to never go back. That's what I'm trying to say, bro. And like, once I like opened my mind up for that possibility, it gave me more hope, and it allowed me to actually like believe that I could do it. You know? These bad habits, bro, like they destroy you as a man, bro. The times where I watched porn and I masturbated that day when I know I shouldn't have. And then I'm spending the entire day thinking about, why did I do that? Whatever else was on the to-do list for that day, it's done. Forget it. Because I'm thinking, dang, bro, I feel so defeated, and the shame and the guilt that follows behind it is so immense, especially when you know you're getting that conviction. You've been knowing for days, months, years that you have to cut it out, and you continue to fall back into it. How are you going to accomplish the goals that you have for yourself when you're doing that? It destroys you, bro. It destroys your mentality. You don't want to do anything. You feel defeated. You have proved to yourself that you're not the man who's capable of overcoming anything, because anytime you have an obstacle, you fall. You don't have the discipline to say no. You don't have any type of routine in your life that's preparing your mind for the suffering, bro. Life is going to suck, bro. I'm just going to call it how it is. You are going to suffer, bro. What are you doing in your life today that's preparing you for that moment? But if you're not doing anything to prepare you for that moment, you're going to fall every single time. You're going to go buy more weed. You're going to go buy more freaking alcohol. You're going to keep hitting the vape. You have your phone right here, so you're just going to watch more porn, bro, and masturbate, because you're not doing anything in your life to prepare you for that moment, bro. You know what I have to do to prepare me for that moment? You know how hard it is for me, bro, to not go watch porn again? You know how hard it is for me to not sit there and think, dang, bro, you know how much fun I'd have, you know, smoking weed with my wife, and you know how much fun we'd have, bro? Laughing, watching a movie, bro, having a good time, being all stupid because we're sitting there high. You know, like, we've never smoked together before. I quit weed right before I got with her, but I think about it all the time. Like, man, it'd be fun, right? You know how hard it is for me to not actually go back? You know, I have the desire to go back, but I don't. Why? Because I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I go for a walk. I do my push-ups. I read my Bible, and then I go work out. So now when those temptations come, I'm prepared for the suffering, because I suffer every day, bro. But you guys aren't suffering. And so every time you get tempted, you fall, because you haven't proven to yourself that you can do anything. That's what it takes for me, bro. It may not take that for you. That is what it takes for me, because when I don't prepare myself mentally for that moment, because I know it's going to come, it's bound to come, bro. You have to stay humble and realize you could put all this work in, but you're still bound to get tempted. It is inevitable, bro. You will be tempted. What will you do when you get tempted? What have you done to prepare you for that temptation? What event can you go back to in your mind when you get tempted that's going to prove to you you can do it? I get in the moment and I'm like, bro, look what we've done. But not only that, what's going to happen if you do this? I already built up a plenty big enough resume of what happens when I fall into the temptation, bro. My frequency goes from here to here. My ambition, my motivation goes from here to here. I don't want to do anything, bro. After I fall into temptation, I'm cooked. So knowing that, I don't want to go back. But a lot of you guys don't care because you don't have actual goals for your life. And that's another problem. Who do you want to be? Like, what type of man do you want to be? Whether you're single or not. Do you want your wife to be with an average dude? You know why, bro? You know why so many men go without sex for so long and they wonder, oh, let me go mow the lawn. Let me go, freaking build this freaking thing. Let me go build a shed in the backyard to show my wife that I'm working hard. But they're freaking out of shape. They're not setting new goals for themselves and they wonder why their wife doesn't want to have sex with them, bro. It's because as a man, if you're not constantly setting new goals for yourself, you're cooked. You're done. Your wife's not going to want you anymore, bro. Your wife didn't sign up for a dude who just gets, an average whatever and he's done. You have to constantly be striving for more, bro. That's what men are supposed to be doing. We're the leaders. We're the providers. We're the protectors, bro. But you're sitting around and just, you're okay with being average, bro. So many dudes, they get to a spot in their life. Maybe they finally get that job or they finally get a six-pack and lose it. But they did it, and so they're done. But where are you at today? Nobody cares about what you did 4 or 5 years ago. Like older men all the time, bro. Oh, back in my day. No, bro, who cares? Like, what are you doing today? Nobody cares about what you did. Nobody cares that you played football in high school. Nobody cares that you used to bench 315. Nobody cares that you had your own business when you were in your early 20s and you made 6 figures a year. Nobody cares, bro. Where are you at today? What are you doing today? Your wife is not going to want to have sex with you because you had a successful business and a good physique back in high school, but now you're out of shape, being an average dude, making, less than the average dude, falling into your temptations, having bad habits, but you used to be good, right? You used to be a pretty solid dude, but now you're not, and you're wondering why, See that crap all over the place, bro. You wonder why your woman doesn't respect you. Nobody cares about what you did. What are you doing today? What example are you setting for her? Does she feel like it's a privilege to be with you? What are you doing today, literally today, that's making your woman go, I got a solid dude. I'm glad I got this dude. I can rely on this dude. I can. You know why my wife is cool with whatever decision I make? It's because she sees the work that I'm putting in every single day. So she knows regardless of what I choose to do, I'm going to figure it out because I'm the man that's able to do it. Not because of what I did last year or 2 years ago or 3 years ago, because of what I'm doing today. Women lose respect for the dude that becomes complacent and no longer strives to set new goals, bro. So do you care enough to set these new goals? A lot of dudes don't care enough, and that's the problem. If that's you right now and you don't care enough to strive for more, good luck, bro. You're cooked. You're cooked. Don't expect your wife to submit to you. Don't expect your wife to listen to the decisions that you want to make. Don't respect your parents and your friends to be proud of you. And I feel like not as many dudes nowadays care about how they're remembered, bro. And that's a problem. They don't actually want to leave an impact, bro, because in America, we have it so easy, bro. We have it so easy. You can get by. There's a very minimal requirement to get by, So, holy crap, dude. I feel like I'm going down different rabbit holes, but bro, you have to realize, bro, wherever you're trying to go in life, hopefully you care to be something, whether that's you have a financial goal or a physical goal. Maybe your goal is to get a wife. Maybe your goal is to get in shape. The version of yourself that is at desired result What do you think he's doing every day? Pretty simple answer, you know? Once you figure that out, you have to start implementing those actions and decisions today, bro. Cut out the weed. Cut out the porn. Stop drinking so much. Stop hanging around people who aren't on the same trajectory as you. You know what happens when you do that? You say, hey, bro, I'm trying to quit down the weed. And they're not ready to put it down. So what do? Oh, dang, bro. You know, they don't care, bro. They're going to give you criticism before encouragement. You know, they're not going to sit there and say, dang, bro, that's, you know what? Good for you, bro. I'm glad. Very rarely they might, but chances I wouldn't count on it. I wouldn't put my money on it. When you start doing what's best for you, you piss a lot of people off. It's going to take a lot to actually cut these bad habits out. But how bad do you want it, bro? How bad do you want it? Would you rather just deal with the shame and the guilt and go to bed every night knowing that you could have, but you didn't? You know, you just want to be a freaking loser your whole life and wonder what if I would have just tried harder? I got tired of that, bro. I got tired of that. I saw men that were 40, 50 years old still struggling with what I was struggling with at 19. And I was like, bro, no way. Like, there's no way I'm going to let my life look like that. I can't, bro. I can't. My wife deserves better. My mom didn't put all this work in to raise me, to raise a dude that's still jerking off at 50 years old, smoking weed and going out to bars, bro. You know, like, that's not like what my mom raised me for. That's not like what my wife deserves. That's not what God put me on this earth to do. God didn't give me the ability to go chase my dreams and give me the freedom that I have here in America to be average, bro. You got to realize that you have so many opportunities just from living in America, and you're not taking advantage of them, bro. You're spoiled. You're spoiled. You have to start caring more, bro. You got to start caring more about your life. You got to understand, bro, this version of you that right now that is a slave to his bad habits, bro, it only gets worse. The longer you go down this path, the harder it is to stop. I've been there, bro. Trust me. I smoked weed first time I got high was, maybe 7th grade, maybe. Smoked all the way till after high school. I quit in September of 2024. So I smoked for about, I don't know, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, 11, 12, about 5 years. I smoked. I got introduced to pornography in elementary school. You know, started off as just an adrenaline rush. Oh, we're just kids watching it because we know we shouldn't. And then next thing you know, I'm addicted to it. You know, masturbating 3-4 times a day while high. I've been there, bro. I have. I saw what it did to my life, bro. I felt what it did to me in my life, bro. I don't ever want to go back there. I don't. But I know here's the thing. You don't just cut out bad habits. You replace them. So the day I stop working out, praying, getting up early, eating healthy, doing things in my life that I know the version of me that's making more money, being a better godly man, that version of me is not smoking every day, freaking jerking off every single day, drinking, going out, staying up late. He's not doing that, bro. So I'm not going to wait till I get there to stop doing those things. I'm going to start today. It took me a while, bro. For a while, I thought that I could do those things and still be successful. Are there men that are successful and are still smoking weed, jerking off? Sure. But I guarantee you they're not at peace. I guarantee you financially they may be successful, but in their mind at night, they're going, dang, bro, like, what are you doing? You know, guarantee it. Guarantee it, bro. So stop rationalizing. Stop thinking that you can serve two masters. Stop thinking that you can serve the devil and God at the same time. Why do you think it's called the devil's lettuce? Why do you think women are sexualizing themselves, bro? Because every time you look at a woman and she's sexualizing herself, now that's how you look at every woman. Now you can't appreciate your woman as much because every time you look at your woman, you just look at her as an object, bro. You can't go to the gym, you can't go to the beach without looking at some booty, bro. That's all you care about. You're not actually able to look at her for a real person, bro. You have no discipline. And trust me, bro, like I know what it's like, bro. I struggled with it for years, bro. For years. The temptation felt so strong sometimes that like the only way to get out of it was to fall into it. I know what it's like, bro. I know what it's like. You have to hate it, bro. You have to know what is on the back end of falling into it. You have to build a resume of proof that you can go through the suffering. And open your mind up for the possibility that you could quit for good today, bro. This could be the last day that you watch porn. This could be the last day that you vape, smoke weed, go out to the bars and drink, swipe on dating apps. It could be the last day, bro. It could. But you have to open your mind up for that possibility and start replacing those bad habits with good habits. It gets easier, bro. I may think about smoking sometimes, watching porn, getting drunk on the weekends. I don't really care for getting drunk, but, you know, I was never really a big drinker like that, but still did it because I just wanted to feel something other than my problems and my stress, you know, so I coped with things that were, you know, not good for me. You gotta stop, bro. You gotta stop. It gets easier though, bro. But you gotta start somewhere, bro. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step, bro. Today could be your first step. So, that's all I got, bro. That's all I got. I hope that, you know, you're listening to this and you're not just looking for motivation. I hope that you can actually make the decision today to actually become the best version of yourself that you could possibly be, bro. I hope that you don't just listen to this and get some quick dopamine. Maybe, you know, get some motivation for today, but then fall back into it tomorrow. I hope that you can actually apply this information to your life and change. So that way your kids don't have to deal with this stuff. So that way your wife doesn't have to deal with this stuff. You know? Your generation's counting on you, bro. If you don't beat it, they're going to deal with it. You know? You got to think about that. You got to stop being so selfish, bro. You got to think about the people around you. If you don't deal with your demons, bro, other people around you are going to deal with them. So you gotta beat them, bro. You gotta beat them. But you got it, bro. You got it. If somebody like me can do it, I know you can too, bro. I'm just a normal dude who's just trying to be something great. Literally. That's it, bro. I'm not gifted, bro. I'm just driven. This ain't motivation, bro. This is just discipline. I don't wake up every day and want to do these things. I don't. I get up this morning, like for example, Saturday morning, I got up, 4 o'clock, made my little video, looked on the couch and my wife is all comfortable in the blankets. It looks comfortable and cozy as crap, bro. You know how bad I wanted to go just back to sleep? But I know, bro, if I can win the morning, bro, if I can win the morning and go into my day with momentum, I'm good. But if I go back to sleep, I'm going to wake back up 7, 8 o'clock. Momentum goes from here to here. Frequency goes from here to here. Now I feel defeated, shame, guilt for the whole day because I fell back into my old self of something hard came into my life and I folded. I folded, bro. How bad do you want it, bro? I didn't want to get up early, bro. I wanted to go back to sleep. But I want it. I want it bad enough, bro. I do. So I get up. Next thing you know, here we are. And I'm glad I did it. It sucked in the moment, but once it's over, you feel good. You actually earn stuff. You actually earn the rest, the leisure time, you know? You have to start earning things in your life, bro. Don't expect handouts, bro. Earn stuff for real. So God bless you guys, man. I pray that whatever you're struggling with right now, that God will give you the strength and the discipline, and that He would convict you in the moment of your temptation, or remind you of why you're doing what you're doing. I truly do. I pray that God would break down the walls of your pride and teach you to rely on Him, and ultimately help you with the unbelief that you may have about you not being able to overcome it, because you can. With God, all things are possible. And I pray that God allows you to have a heart that actually believes that, and know that with God, you are capable of overcoming this, bro. You may be dealing with it for a long time, but you can overcome it, bro. I pray that God gives you the strength and the endurance, and that you would submit all your anxious and your anxious thoughts and stress to Him, bro. No battle or no temptation is too big for God, bro. And there's no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. So remember that. The shame and the guilt doesn't come from God. It doesn't. Conviction leads to change. That's what comes from God. Condemnation, the shame, and the guilt leads to idleness. That comes from the devil. Fight your thoughts with the truth, with the Word of God. So I pray, whoever's watching this video, man, again, that you would try, that you would actually start trying today. Not tomorrow, not next week. I pray that today would be your day one. If you could look at this day a year from now, and you could tell your woman, your friends, it's been a year since I've done that. And you can now help them overcome what you're dealing with today. I pray that day starts today for you. God bless you guys.